Good evening. I'm Diane LeBlanc, your city clerk, and I will be serving as your mistress of ceremonies. In accordance with my duties as the city clerk of Lawrence, prescribed by the city charter, I call the inauguration ceremony of the Lawrence City Government to order. Please rise for the posting of colors. Honor guards, post the colors.
Colors at chin. Carry colors. Forward, march. Colors, halt. Left face. Present. Arm.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the national anthem by former Lawrence High School student Kia Guzman, and the invocation that will be given by Father Paul O'Brien, pastor of St. Patrick's Parish. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
So most or many of us in Lawrence identify as Christians. We believe something that's either absolutely true or false, that a person named Jesus, who lived about 2,000 years ago, is the Son of God. I believe that. And I take directly from him that when I die, which could be tonight, he tells me exactly how he's going to judge me for eternal life or not. So that's presumably how he judges me right now. When I was hungry, you gave me food, or you didn't give me food. When I was thirsty, you gave me drink, or you didn't give me drink. When I was a stranger, you welcomed me, or you didn't welcome me. When I was naked, you clothed me, or you didn't clothe me. When I was ill, you cared for me, or you didn't care for me. When I was in prison, you visited me, or you didn't visit me. All he cares about, and the only way he judges us, is whether we love, whether when we see a person's need, and we can meet it, we choose to meet that need or not meet that need. If you are fortunate enough to live in Lawrence, let alone to be an elected official in Lawrence, it's like we've got a leg up on salvation, because all we have to do is walk out the door and we see so much need, and we have so much of an ability to meet those needs. So I invite you to join me in praying for these newly elected officials, that God give God's Spirit to them, to lead them on the path of salvation in these positions. God our Father, we ask you to send your Spirit to bless these newly elected officials to see others as you see them, to give them wisdom, to learn how to serve others as you would have them serve them, to give them creativity, to build a more just city as you would have us build it, and to give them your love, to love more. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Thank you to Lawrence High School, to the Lawrence High School Junior ROTC Honor Guard, the Firefighters Honor Guard, the Police Department Honor Guard, to former Lawrence High School student Kia Guzman, who on very short notice agreed to fill in tonight, and thank you, Father Paul, for the opening prayer. It's an honor for me to be with you for this inauguration ceremony. Those who are here in person and those that are watching at home. We have been working very hard to ensure that we could have this inauguration, but to do so safely. And I appreciate everyone's understanding and cooperation and compliance with the city's mask mandate. I want to recognize our elected officials who are with us, our Mayor, Brian DePena, our Governor and Speaker, Charlie Baker, Congresswoman Trahan, Lori Trahan, State Senator Barry Feingold, State Representative Frank Moran, State Representative Marcos Devers, State Representative Christina Minicucci. We are also joined by Congresswoman Trahan's Senior Outreach Director, Jocelyn DeLeon, several members of the governor's staff, and Senator Feingold's District Director, Marina Acosta. We have with us the President of Northern Essex Community College, Dr. Lane Glenn, and from the United States Postal Service, Postmaster Michael De Silva and Branch Manager Charles Nichols. And also with us from the City of Lawrence, several representatives of the Mayor's Administration. I see them down in front. I see the Chief of Staff here as well. Right down in front, Chief of Police Roy Bask, thank you for being here. I think I saw DPW Director Jorge Jaime. So to all of our city officials who are here, thank you. Thank you all for joining us. On November 12th, 2021, at 5:01 p.m., I certified the results of the municipal election held on November 2nd, 2021. And very shortly thereafter, had the great privilege of administering the oath of office to the 61st mayor of this great city, Brian A. DePena. Tonight, it is my privilege to welcome the mayor to give greetings.
Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. I want to say thank you, Mr. Governor. Lawrence is a great city, not because residents of Lawrence is a great city. It's because it's a great city because it's an immigrant city. When everybody comes from Lawrence, keep happy, smiling, want to come back again to Lawrence. And I see something, when somebody moves to another town, finally come back to Lawrence. I don't know for what reason. Long time ago, somebody said, the reason is because drink water for Deposito. Deposito is closed now. The people continue to come back to Lawrence. We move to La Florida, one of the town, or come back to Dominican Republic. I don't know what happened. But yo quiero decirle que Lawrence es una ciudad hermosa, no solamente porque nosotros lo decimos, sino porque hay una razón misteriosa. Mucha gente se van a la Florida, se van a República Dominicana, y vuelven. En el pasado se decía que era porque tomaban el agua del pocito, pero yo no entiendo, porque el pocito está cerrado hace mucho. Y la gente sigue viniendo de vuelta de República Dominicana, de la Florida, y vuelven a Lawrence y se quedan en Lawrence. Yo quiero decirles que para nosotros, los que hemos quedado en Lawrence, que hemos continuado viviendo en Lawrence, nos llena de mucho orgullo ver que Lawrence ha ido creciendo, que Lawrence se ha ido moviendo en una dirección nueva. Y yo creo que ha sido por el esfuerzo de muchas personas que han dicho que creen en Lawrence, que continúan trabajando Lawrence por Lawrence, siguen criando sus hijos en la ciudad de Lawrence. Y ya lo que yo quiero decir esta noche, me dijeron no hable mucho, te toca poco y solamente da la bienvenida, pero tenía que decir eso. Nos sentimos orgullosos de Lawrence y vamos a seguir trabajando duro para Lawrence. Y le doy la bienvenida. I want to say welcome to the new city council member, school committee. I want to work together. Anything called to my office, the door office is open for all. La oficina de la alcaldía están abiertas para esta nueva miembro del consejo del School Committee. Y vamos a trabajar juntos por Lawrence. Lawrence necesita que trabajemos unidos. Quiero aprovechar la ocasión para darle la bienvenida a una de las personas que más se ha preocupado en los últimos años por la ciudad de Lawrence, nuestro gobernador, el supergobernador, no solamente de Massachusetts, sino para esta ciudad, el mejor gobernador que tienen los Estados Unidos de Norteamérica. I want to say welcome, Governor Charlie Baker. For Lawrence, I don't know for another town, but for Lawrence, you're the best governor, not for residents for Lawrence, for the United States of America, the whole country. You're the best, believe me, for Lawrence. Thank you. The residents for the Lawrence, keep in your heart, believe me. I never forgot when the explosion got, you'll be here every week. You know, every day, it's true. And I want to say thank you and welcome to the city of Lawrence. Lawrence, don't never forget your service. Thank you.
Well, Mr. Mayor, I'm really glad to be back. And I'm really glad to have a chance to welcome and to perhaps maybe swear in, if the clerk lets me, some of the folks who are newly and duly elected to serve this wonderful community. You know, I had my first job in elective office serving in my hometown of Swampscott as a member of the Board of Selectmen. And Karen Polito, the Lieutenant Governor, her first elected position was serving as a member of the Select Board in Shrewsbury, which is where she's from. And the two of us talk all the time about the fact that there are no jobs in elective office that are more accountable than serving in local government. This is my little preach to the folks behind me here. Because when you serve in local government, the people who voted for you know where you live, they know where you work, they know where you buy your coffee, they know where you shop, they know where your kids play, they know everything about you, for better or for worse. It's a very personal kind of role in public life. And she and I both loved it. I love the fact that when I watched one of my kids play a game, people would come up to me on the side of the field who were my neighbors. In many cases, people I'd coached youth sports with, or folks I'd worked on some town project with. And they tell me what they thought about how I was doing. It was respectful, And most importantly, it was honest and gracious. And I think that's because of the presence that comes with serving in local government. It's not like you're arguing with somebody who's thousands of miles away, or you're having a snarky debate over social media, or you're working on behalf of something that most of the people who will either benefit from it or be hurt by it will never come in contact with you. Local government is personal. It's as much about this as it is about this. And that's why the Lieutenant Governor and I spend so much time visiting and working with our colleagues in local government. Karen Polito's visited all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. She's the only person who's ever done that, official visits, in her role as Lieutenant Governor. I've been to over 250. Not bad, not 351, but not bad. And that's because both of us wanted to see for ourselves what was going on in the communities of the Commonwealth, and to find out how we might be able to help folks build stronger, better communities. And we wanted to create a personal relationship with the people we were working with. Because as we all know, that's where trust comes from. And I never saw a moment in which trust mattered more than that horrible, terrible day when this community was rocked, along with Andover and North Andover, by those gas explosions. Now, as we roared up 93, lights flashing, traffic parting, to meet with then Mayor Rivera in the Showcase Cinema parking lot, along with Chief Vasquez, Chief Moriarty, and chiefs and firefighters and police officers from all over New England. The one thing I knew for sure was I could trust Dan Rivera and he could trust me. Nobody was looking to cover their backside. We were both going to do whatever we could, working with the people of this community to help get it back up on its feet and safe. And that personal relationship that we work so hard to develop with our colleagues in local government is a big part of how we think this work gets done. It's so much easier to go out on a limb, to try something new, to compromise with someone you know and trust, than it is with someone you're never, ever going to come face to face with. And that's why, for me, having this opportunity on this day, and for the Lieutenant Governor, to travel to as many places around the state as we can, to congratulate newly elected officials, and to wish you well, and to make sure you see us, and most importantly, know this won't be the last time you see us. Because we think this is where, in many cases, the greatest joy and opportunity in public life comes from. It's working for your friends and your neighbors and your colleagues and your coworkers and the people you share a life with and the communities that you're part of. And for me, days like this are a celebration about a fresh start, a new start, and a new opportunity. And while the Lieutenant Governor and I will only be here for one more year, We have $4 billion in ARPA money we want to spend every dollar on our communities around the Commonwealth. Over the next 12 months. So I'm quite sure you'll be seeing me and the Lieutenant Governor back here to work with this mayor and these teams to do great things for this really wonderful place you all call home. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor Baker, for making the time to be with us tonight, for your unwavering leadership and your unprecedented political courage during these very difficult times. We greatly appreciate you. So tonight, and the governor is going to help me administer the oath, if that's what I understood, all right, 1 minute. It is my duty to work with the governor so he can administer the oath of those elected by the citizens of Lawrence in the November 2021 election. I want to extend my congratulations to all of the elected officials. City Council, School Committee, Greater Lawrence Technical School Committee, those who have served for several years, and those who have been elected by the great citizens of Lawrence for the very first time. This is your day. You have worked hard to get here, and as the governor said, it's a time for celebration. Each of you has your own story, why you ran for office, who inspired you, but what you all have in common is that you love your city. You love the people of Lawrence, and you want to make a positive difference in your life. I applaud you. I am going to read the election certificate, and then the governor can administer the oath of office. Is that how we would like to do it? Okay. All right. I'm going to read the election certificate then for all three bodies of government. And as I read your name, please rise and stay standing. And then the governor will come forward and administer the oath. Elected to the Lawrence City Council for a 2-year term as Councilor at Large, Anna Levy, Pavel Payano, Selena Reyes. Elected to the Lawrence City Council for a 2-year term as a District Councilor, Maria D. De La Cruz, Estela A. Reyes, Gregory Del Rosario, Giovanni A. Rodriguez, Stephanie Infante, and Mark L. LaPlante. Elected to a 2-year term as a member of the Lawrence School Committee, Thrice Soto, Santiago Reyes Cruz, Lennon Roa, Joshua Alba, Patricia M. Mariano, and Jonathan Guzman. Elected to a 2-year term as a member of the Greater Lawrence Technical School Committee, Zoila Desla, Leo Lamontan, Vivian E. Marmo. The governor would come forward. This is a copy of the oath, and you all have a copy of the oath to follow along.
Okay, so we do them each one at a time?
Nope, you do it as a group.
No, I mean, which one of these is a group?
So if you-
Yeah, I would.
Okay. So the members of the school committee and the Greater Lawrence Technical School Committee can be seated. The governor has agreed to swear each group in separately.
So could the members of the city council raise their right hands and repeat after me? I state your name. Do solemnly swear. That I will support the Constitution of the United States. The Constitution of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And the Charter and ordinances of the City of Lawrence. That I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially discharge any duties as a member of the Lawrence City Council during my service therein, so help me God. And congratulations. I ran for the select board because I thought school committee was too hard. Would you raise your right hand and repeat after me? I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and the Charter and ordinances of the City of Lawrence. That I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially discharge any duties as a member of the Lawrence School Committee during my service therein. So help me God. Congratulations, school committee members. Greater Lawrence Tech School Committee. Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and the Charter and ordinances of the City of Lawrence. That I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially discharge my duties as a member of the Greater Lawrence Technical School Committee during my service therein, so help me God. Congratulations.
Immediately after this ceremony, the City Council will meet here on stage to elect a president and vice president. For those who wish to view this meeting, I ask that you do so safely from your seat in the audience. The school committee will meet in a classroom behind this stage. Their meeting is also open to the public as safe social distance spacing allows. It is now my privilege to welcome Congresswoman Laurie Trahan to the stage to make remarks.
Well, good evening. Good evening to all our distinguished guests, the governor, Mayor DePena, my partners in state and local government, all the family here, and of course the folks who are tuning in at home. I find it fitting that as we turn the calendar to 2022, we gather here tonight to usher in not only a new year, but a new cohort of leadership for the city of Lawrence. I'd like to start with a special thank you to all of those who helped put this ceremony together, as well as all of those who worked to facilitate our municipal elections. Each required a heightened level of commitment to our Commonwealth and our country as we continue to grapple with the evolving reality that is COVID. Like 2021 and 2020 before, 2022 will undoubtedly have its challenges. But I have enormous reason for hope. Among the greatest reasons for that persistent hope are all of you gathered in this room. Just a few moments ago, each of you took your oaths of office and officially became members of the Lawrence City Council, the school committee, and the Greater Lawrence Technical School Committee. Some of you are returning to these positions to carry on your work and to continue your advocacy. Others are assuming office for the first time, eager to start making your mark on the community that you call home. Whatever your circumstance, I want to congratulate each of you for stepping up to answer that call of public service. It's more important now than perhaps at any other time in U.S. modern history. I know firsthand how difficult campaigns can be, and I'll be among the first to tell you that the rigor and challenges of the trail extend to life as an office holder too. I think the governor probably described it best. They know where you live, they know where you play and shop. The difference is that the stakes have never been higher. The decisions you make will impact the trajectory of the lives of your friends, your neighbors, and children in this city for decades to come. Those high stakes underscore an important thing to bear in mind. You are assuming office at an exciting time, and your ability to make an impact in the coming months and years is uniquely enhanced by an historic influx of federal investments, which you will, in ways big and small, be in a position to help direct. Faced with the ongoing global pandemic, the 117th Congress swiftly passed the American Rescue Plan into law, which put money in the pockets of Americans across the country, and importantly here in Lawrence. It also ensured that billions more in federal resources will soon be spent in communities across our Commonwealth to support healthcare, housing, infrastructure, education, and critical economic development initiatives. Of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't take a moment to thank our governor, Governor Baker, our state delegation, who played such an important role in using a portion of those funds to support Lawrence General Hospital in the middle of the pandemic. It's no secret that the hospital took a disproportionate financial hit to empower its doctors, nurses, and support staff to step up day in and day out to get us through the pandemic. And the use of American Rescue Plan funds was key to ensuring that Lawrence General's critical services will be available to Lawrence residents for years to come. ARPA, as historic and impactful as it was and continues to be, was only one leg of a much-needed influx of federal investments in infrastructure and in our workforce. At the end of last year, Congress also passed the largest investment in infrastructure in decades. For far too long, Washington's divestment from infrastructure projects forced communities like Lawrence to take a Band-Aid approach to repairing roads and bridges and water systems. Like a lot of my colleagues, I promised all of you that I would work with whomever necessary, Democrats, Republicans, Independents, to change that. And my vote to send the bipartisan infrastructure package to President Biden's desk achieved that goal by delivering at least $9 billion to fix Massachusetts roads, repair our bridges, upgrade our water systems, and so much more. We're going to get funding for mass transit systems to help our buildings become more weather resistant, to reduce utility costs for our families, and to ensure that every Massachusetts resident has access to broadband coverage. This funding is already making its way to the local level in a variety of ways, and I intend to make sure Lawrence and the communities across this district get as much of it as possible. There's no question that the infrastructure package is a win for everyone in the Commonwealth, but I believe that the bill's true impact will only be realized if Congress can complete its work on the Build Back Better Act. Not only does Build Back Better double down on the investments we've made in hard infrastructure with the resources to ensure we have the best workforce in the world, but it also recognizes the obligation we have to put communities who have often been overlooked and under-supported, in the past, communities like Lawrence, at the forefront. Build Back Better means increasing access to quality, affordable health care at facilities like Lawrence General Hospital and the Greater Lawrence Family Health Center. Delivering additional support to our frontline healthcare workers whose round-the-clock efforts have saved so many lives. It means additional funding to help clean up the Merrimack River with targeted funding we requested for communities like ours with a heightened need for a federal sewage overflow investment. It means putting workers and families here in Lawrence first by making long overdue federal investments in childcare, education, and job training. And it means making sure that every family that calls this great city home will benefit from these programs specifically designed to help them thrive. Now, of course, the pundits on cable news have had a lot to say about the prospects of this legislation, but I am confident that we will get it done. And when that happens, even more transformative reform will be possible. And in the roles you've just assumed, you will play a critical part in all of that. With that, I sincerely want to offer my congratulations to you as you set about on this most important work. I look forward to partnering with all of you to ensure that Lawrence, its families, its workers, its seniors, and its children builds back better than ever before. So be safe. Make sure you get that booster shot. Thank you and good night.
Thank you, Congresswoman Trahan. Before I call upon Pastor Leonore to give our final prayer, I want to say thank you to all who helped with this ceremony and to those who played a major role in our ability to run 2 successful elections leading up to this ceremony. As a new city clerk, I needed their help, and they were there every step of the way, no matter what the need was. On the back of the program, I've listed these thank yous. But for those watching from home, I think it's important that they be read. First and foremost, to our election workers, our inspectors, clerks, and wardens. You are truly the most critical component of a successful election. Thank you for fulfilling this important role. To the Secretary of State's office, in particular Michelle Tassinari, who provided regular counsel to me and provided the resources that we needed to ensure 2 well-run elections. Thank you for sending us clerks Andy Dowd, Kelly McElrath, and Jane DeVolio to help out. To our partner, the United States Postal Service, our branch manager, Chuck Nichols, and Postmaster Mike DeSilva, who I had direct access to, and who ensured that on both election days, every ballot was delivered to us in time to be sent to its polling location to be counted. That's no small feat. To everyone at the Lawrence Public Schools, the South Lawrence East Educational Complex, and the Production Center for supporting our elections and this event, thank you. To the Lawrence Police Department, who support the city clerk's office throughout the year, but especially during the elections and for special events, thank you. Chief, you've got a great force, and I am especially grateful for the support provided to me by Lieutenant Jay Cerullo. Thank you to the Department of Public Works, the Department of Veteran Services, our Payroll Department, Personnel Department, Office of Budget and Finance, Office of the City Attorney, and the Comptroller's Office. And to my staff and the City Clerk's Office and the Elections Division, a heartfelt thank you. If you would all please rise for our closing prayer from Pastor Lenore from the Fountain of Salvation Christian Church.
Padre Celestial, Dios de gracia, te bendecimos, te adoramos, te glorificamos. Te damos gracias a ti, Señor Dios Todopoderoso, porque tú dices que el principio de la sabiduría es el temor a ti, oh Dios. Gracias por hombres y mujeres temerosos de ti. Permite, Señor Dios de los ejércitos, que siempre, Señor Dios Todopoderoso, ellos te puedan tener en sus agendas. Bendice sus vidas, bendice sus familiares, bendice, Señor, su entrada, su salida. Ayúdale, Señor, a seguir hacia adelante. Gracias, Señor, por esta ciudad tan bendecida. Te pedimos, oh Dios de los ejércitos, que sea tú tomando el control, el dominio de todas las cosas. Necesitamos, Señor, siempre tu paz. Tu paz es la que sobrepasa todo entendimiento y guarda nuestros pensamientos y nuestros corazones en ti, oh Dios. Te pedimos, Padre Santo y Padre bueno, que sea tú dirigiendo y guiando a cada uno de tus siervos, oh Dios de los ejércitos, a cada hombre y mujeres que tú has llamado, Señor, para dirigir esta nuestra ciudad. Te lo pedimos en el nombre del Padre, del Hijo y del Espíritu Santo. Amén. Amén. God bless you.
Thank you, Pastor. Please stay standing for our closing musical selection, God Bless America, sung by Allison Castillo. Allison.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home sweet. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the dark with the lights from above, from the mountains through the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America. God bless America. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Well, I think you all would agree that was worth the wait. And just a little bit about Allison. Allison is a junior, and like Kia, who did our national anthem, Allison agreed to pinch hit and fill in at the very last minute, and that is the first time she has sung God Bless America. I also want to thank Kathleen Brockman, who's been serving as our sign language interpreter this evening. And we are almost at the close. I do ask, again, you remain standing until the honor guard retires the colors. But just in closing, to the citizens of Lawrence, thank you for the privilege of serving as your city clerk and the honor of being part of this wonderful city. God bless you, and God bless the city of Lawrence.